were attacking a startup, you have to think of like the day one of Facebook. You're always going to try out new ideas. You gotta just stick to your plan. Morning, you're about to miss the sunrise. You caught it just in time. What's going on?
Good, it's beautiful.
It is a beautiful morning. You can't beat this, that's for sure.
So what's your morning routine usually like?
Morning routine, very, very important to wake up at the same time every day. You know, I like to make sure that I wake up at a time where I don't need an alarm clock. And so for years I kind of mess around with my time I go to sleep, so I can just wake up fresh, either get a breath of fresh air, sit on my balcony, drink some coffee, or, you know, I used to go and get pumped at the gym, but I don't do that anymore. One thing I did notice about the gym is that when you get a little bit too pumped before the market, I tend to overtrade. So now I try to do something a little bit more relaxed, and then it's just, you know, get ready, I shower and do everything just like I'd be going to work, like I have a job. I shave, I get ready, and then it's just hop into the computer. I need about an hour to get ready for the market. You know, I want to do my pre-market scans. You always want to search for your earnings plays, your PR gappers, see what's hot in the morning, add that to your nightly homework that you've already done, and then now start filtering through and really ranking all your best plays. You know, one of the things that happens is when you do homework at night and then homework in the morning and get ready, your watch list will be just huge. You guys ever have like a just giant watch list of like 30 tickers? Well, that's great, but what you want to do is really start to prune it down. You know, I want to start ranking them on a tier system based on what's the best, like what has the best probabilities. That way when the market opens, I know exactly what to hit. This is my first play, second play, third play. If I see this, this, and this, I'm gonna hit it. And then, hopefully, I only trade the first couple hours and I'm out.
So how you feel about the trading day today?
So far, pretty weak open in the markets, you know, but we're sitting right at top of resistance, so it's a natural thing to kind of pull back now. We've had an incredible run of the last few weeks. But right now, all these little low float stocks are in flavor, so what's happening with the market doesn't necessarily matter.
So what are you looking for when, you know, when you're starting the trading day?
So at the beginning of the day, I'm mostly searching for earnings patterns, any type of pattern where you've got like a hot PR, a hot earnings, some type of fundamental, a press release that can knock a stock out. Then we're just looking for straight chart patterns. You know, in Michigan, this is car country. You've got to drive a Ford. You know, my whole family worked at Ford. Everybody I knew worked at Ford. In our town, that was the thing, is either you worked at Ford or GM. You know, even growing up, that was the goal for everybody. You know, that was the mantra that we were told. Go to school, get good grades, get a job at Ford Motor Company. And that was actually my original path, you know. It was like, my dad was pushing me all throughout high school, get straight A's and go to University of Michigan and become an engineer like him. You know, I'll get a great job and make 80 grand a year, have a nice life, be able to take care of my parents. And, you know, that was the dream. I mean, that was really the dream growing up is for people was live in Michigan.
So when did you decide that, you know, that path wasn't for you?
You know, I kind of had always an inkling, you know, but being a mama's boy and a daddy's boy, we come from a very close family. You know, you never want to disappoint your parents. That's not who I am. And so, you know, I always kept it together, and I did get the straight A's, and I did everything the way I was supposed to. But when I came time to make my college choices, you know, I went to Michigan State instead of University of Michigan, and I walked myself down a different path. And the first day I got there at school, I was already in the computer lab on MSN Money researching how to trade stocks. And didn't have any articles on how to trade stocks, but there was no such thing back then. You just had to go on MSN Money and they'd talk about different stocks and you had to kind of figure it out. You know, they had this MSN Stock Scouter rating system on all their stocks. So I'd always look at all the ones that were like 9s or 10s and be like, oh my God, these are amazing. And so I put like $500 in one of them, and of course, it didn't do anything. And then, you know, I would go and find whichever one was a number 10 or a number 9 and put a few bucks down, and of course they wouldn't do anything. But, you know, that was how I started college. You know, it was like, that was my first chance at freedom of being on my own, and one of the first things I did was go to the computer lab and see what I can learn about this stock thing.
So why stocks? Like what interests you in stocks?
Well, that was 1999. I graduated high school. So during this time, you're talking about, you know, the dot-com age. You're talking about a time where just immense wealth was being made everywhere. No, but honestly, if you look at like really successful businessmen, one thing that they all are really in charge of is their health. Whether they do yoga, meditation, working out. Most of them, you ever see a really successful businessman? They're like 70, they're still crushing it, right? They're still out there working because they're taking care of themselves. It's very important. Guys, watch this Jag-X. We may get a short in this thing. I shorted 1,000 up here. We'll lean into this thing a little bit. That first candle is always a telltale sign. There we go. Now that it's breaking onto the VWAP, look at this BHPM2. I'm taking a little bit of profits here on RH. You know, I had to go really through the ringer. And so I did start with $500. I did make some money because it was the dot-com boom. And I built up my account. And I was thinking, like, man, like, I'll probably be quitting college soon. Like, this is, college is for the jerks. Like, why would I want to put my nose in a bunch of books when I'm making all this money trading stocks? And then March 2000, so this is, you know, the end of my first year, the dot-com bubble burst. And it was horrific for everybody, you know. And me, I don't even have that much money at the time, so, I mean, it's horrific for me. I can't even imagine what everybody else is going through, but the crash was unlike anything you've ever seen, because you're talking about stocks that were like $500, $600, like Yahoo or Amazon, and, you know, a very short time later, I mean, you're talking about they're $5 and $10. The destruction of wealth was just crazy. And, you know, I got the first-hand experience of writing it all down, and I didn't know anything about trading. I didn't know you could short stocks. You know, right now I short stocks more than I even long stocks. I didn't know you could do any of them. And so you just write it down until you run out of money. And so at some point, right, you lose it all and you run out of money, and then you try it again. And then you try it again. And so, I tried it a few different times while I was in college with varying degrees of success, but the common denominator was huge degrees of failure. You know, I'd always make really the same mistakes over and over of blowing up my account after a good run, losing all my profits when I'm up on a stock, and you know, it took me a long time to realize, like, those are just, I mean, basic trading rules. You don't know that when you're, you know, first starting. Is like, you just think like you pick good companies that are being talked about and you're gonna make a bunch of money, but there's that whole other subset of it, is that you can have the best stock in the world, but it doesn't mean you're going to make money unless you buy it at the right time, sell it at the right time, buy the right amount of shares, and manage your risk aggressively over and over and over. About to start class, baby. 8 p.m., second shift starting. We got our new boot camp class starting. Got a great group of students, and we are going to be talking about pullback trading today, on how to swing trade over a multi-day time frame using pullback techniques.
All right, guys, this is Albert Jones, who's in Boot Camp 22. What'd you think about the boot camp that you took?
I thought it was great. Like before that, I really didn't understand what I was doing. You know, I was making some money, losing some money, but I didn't really understand why. So I took the boot camp, and I kind of like backed up and started from scratch, and actually found out like why I was losing money when I did, and why I was making money instead of just, you know, making money and not knowing why or losing money. So it was great.
My man Vic, what are you trading over here?
I got some nugget.
Okay, what's your setup?
It's holding a 9 EMA. Gold is trending up and it's holding 9 EMA as well. So I'm hoping for some more upside.
Where is your target on this? You bought it at what, 112?
Yeah, 112.40 is my average. I'm hoping for a test of the VWAP.
All right, nice. This is my man Mark DeVasta. What are you trading over here, buddy?
Gold, baby. J-Nug.
I got the most out of just understanding how to trade stocks in multiple time frames. Like usually when I first started trading, I only really looked at the intraday chart.
What we got, baby?
I'm looking at this VXX for a short and a little while. And once I started trading the boots on Wall Street Boot Camp, I started looking at the daily chart and moving back and understand how to align them on multiple time frames. That really helped me out a lot.
Stock breaks out. It's now up 4 or 5 days in a row. Gets a little overbought. It's got to come back.
So when did you start, you know, when did you start to see like positive results?
So I started to see I was seeing positive results intermittently.
Yeah.
I'd go on 6-month runs and then one bad month. 6-month runs, one bad month. But as any trader knows, that one bad month basically will ruin your life. It'll ruin your career. It wipes out all the 6 months. And so I was in a standstill for just many of years.
You were still in college at this time?
This is after college.
Okay.
You know, I've got a job, and so now I'm putting more money into it, and I've still just not finding that consistency. And that's when I met Paul, my mentor, Paul Singh. He works for us, works with us at Bulls on Wall Street, and he was my mentor. He does our swing service. And he was the one, originally I talked to him and I said, hey, this is what's going on. He was writing a blog at the point, and there were no trading gurus at the time. He was just writing a blog, and I was just peppering him with questions. You've got a good knack for the stock part, but you don't have any knack for the trading part. And once he worked with me for even just the first few weeks, I started to see very serious results, because I had all this experience of trying this over and over, but I didn't have any structure to it. You know, I didn't have any foundation that I could lean on. The thing about trading is when you have a proper foundation and a proper structure to your methodology, during times where your trading is off, or during times of drawdown, meaning you're actually losing, when you can reach back into your foundation and say, hey, this is the way I look at everything, then it's very easy to pinpoint your weaknesses and pinpoint what you're doing wrong. And that I didn't have. You know, I didn't have that foundation of knowledge. And that's what he gave me. And I use that stuff to this day. You know, now it's like when something's going wrong, I go right back to the basics, and that's what kind of sets me straight. You know, going back to those basics. But also when you have that structured knowledge, now it's like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Oh man, but I'm not doing this, right? You have it all written out in like a recipe. So most of the homework's done at night. We use different softwares. I use TC2000, which is a charting scanning software. Then in the morning, I'm running pre-market scanners. So we use a company called Trade Ideas. They build basically software algorithms for retail traders. So I'll turn that on and see what's moving and start adding it to my watch list. But as day traders, our main thing is always to be searching for momentum, because when you're day trading, you're not looking at something that's a year out, right? You only care about what's going to happen right now. For me, it might even be the first 30 minutes. You know, right now I'm already up over $1,000 and it's only been 15 minutes in the market. I'm looking for whatever can move at this moment. And so the way that I'm looking for stocks and configuring my software is going to be a little bit different. So everything is still solid. Just like my own students are improving every day, I'm getting better every day. You know, I sit there on Sundays and I study my stats, my trades, just like I asked them to. I talk to other traders that are better than me or have different types of knowledge than me, from Nate to John Welsh to all different types of people, so that I can gain more skills and new tricks. And so trading is getting better. And as we grow, of course, we're learning how to operate a business more efficiently. You know, it was the wild, wild west 4 years ago. It's like the money comes in and then we don't know what to do with it all, right? Do we spend it on marketing? How do we account for it all? That, you know, we didn't have any of that skill or even a structure in place. Now we've put all that together, and so we've streamlined everything. We actually know what we're doing. And so, you know, this is like the first years we could say, wow, like we have an expertise in actually how to not build a business, but run a business, which is two different things. It's awesome. I mean, being from Michigan, my whole life, all I want to do is get out of the snow. And, you know, Destin is a wonderful little town that I found in my travels. And just being able to stay here, and I come out and catch a sunset almost every day, or a sunrise, depending on whether I have class. And no matter what happens, you know, whether you have a good day trading, bad day, good day in business, bad day. You know, today I lost money trading. But, I mean, look at where we are. It's, how can you be that mad, right? How could you be so disappointed about a couple stocks, right? When you have so much to be thankful of. And so, you know, being outdoors and being in nature, even being on the beach, it's just, it kind of brings you back to, it centers you a little bit and brings you back to remembering why you do what you do. And it always reminds me that, hey, it ain't that fucking bad. Most of the time, yes, but you're not human if that doubt doesn't creep into your brain, you know? It's easy to say, like, I always knew I was gonna be amazing, or I always knew I was gonna be successful or the best or whatever. And I don't even feel like I'm there yet, you know? I'm still getting better every day, but to say that I always knew, I don't know. I always had in the back of my mind that, yes, I can do it, but there are just those moments where you're just crushed, you know? In the beginning, I blew up so many trading accounts, and it's crushing because when you blow up a trading account and you're a young man, it's not like you have savings, right? Your savings went into your trading account. So when that account is done, you're done for that time being. Now it's up to you to decide if you want to come back and how well you attack it, but there are just those moments where you're like, wow, I have no money anymore, and I want to trade, like this is what I want to do, but you can't do it without money, right? And so you have all those times, like I lost so many different accounts, like when I was a new trader trying to figure this out. I had no mentors, or I had no guidance on even what to do, like when this happens, you know, like what do you do when you blow up an account, or what do you do when you have a big loss? You know, I'm just trying to figure it out, and I think it took me a little bit extra time to learn. I'm a little bit hard-headed. I just am, you know, I'm a slow learner in that aspect of things. I'm just so stubborn sometimes. So that doubt was always there. And then even as a business, right, you know, Bulls on Wall Street, when we started up Bulls on Wall Street, we started off so hot, it was gangbusters, and you know, we had a couple hundred members in our chat room, and then, you know, we made some structural changes to our company, and at one moment I had 10 people left in my chat room. And it's like, whoa, you know, I had this awesome business, and now I have no business. So what do? Do you shut it down because the costs are higher than, you know, what you're taking in, or do you rebuild? And, you know, I looked at building Bulls on Wall Street just like my trading career. I rebuild, I restart, I get better, I get more focused, and I come up with a different strategy. And we'll see if it works. You know, sometimes in business and trading, there's a lot of trial and error. You know, there's not like a set formula of, hey, you do this and you do this and now you have a successful business. Sometimes when you're, especially in a very niche business like ours, there's so much trial and error and you don't have like a guidance. Like your nearest competitor is not going to be like, hey, let me take you under my wing and show you how to build a business, right? And even then, like, you don't trade like him, you don't look like him, right? You don't act like him, so you can't do it. I mean, you're different people, and so there's always those setbacks. And yeah, sometimes the doubt did creep in, but I usually try to only let it simmer for a handful of days, you know, before you, at some point, got to say, what's done is done. Well, you know, there's that old adage of, it's not personal, it's business, right? That's what you always hear, but that's not true. You know, when you're doing business, you're dealing with people. So it is personal. It's always personal. I always went about my business as it is personal and it is business, you know, and so treating people like that, you know, making sure like, hey, if I do the right thing, then, you know, something good is gonna happen, you know. One of my mentors once told me, he's like, you know, I'm like, man, I'm like faced with all these hard choices, like, what do I do? And he goes, there are no hard choices if you just always do the right thing. You only have hard choices when you're faced with cutting a corner or doing the right thing. You know, those are choices. But if your mantra is just do the right thing, treat people the right way, and something good's gonna come out of it, then you don't really have to have hard choices. You really don't even have to be that smart because you're led in a certain path that you're just going with. And so our company's a people business. It's a family business, and we've built it like that. And we've had treated our students the same way. You know, I got 10 students coming next week to stay at my house in sleeping bags, you know, for our summer boot camp. You know, it's just a family thing. And if you keep doing it like that, then that's your niche, right? That's who you are. You know, you don't have to think too hard about marketing. I want to make an impact to every single person I meet, and a lot of times it's not even about trading. You know, I have some students or just people I meet along the way, and I'm not helping them with their trading, but I'm still trying to be impactful in terms of being a mentor or business or, you know, their mentality or whatever it might be, you know. There's so much more than just me showing people stock picks, you know. When I get a student, I'm showing him sometimes how to be a man, right? I mean, you get young kids or, you know, people that don't know a lot of different things, and you're teaching them, sure, about stocks, but you're also teaching them about responsibility, about routines, about structure, about how to plan your day, you know, how to go out and attack your goals. It just happens to be sometimes stocks is just a byproduct of really that bigger picture that we're trying to build with these guys and gals. Yes, I think that there's a basic aptitude that you have to have for trading, meaning you have to have some type of baseline of intelligence, right? You know, and that could be average to above average, whatever it might be. You know, there's that baseline. But in trading, anything above that line, and really in anything, right, it doesn't give you more results. You know, what gives you more results in trading is being able to control yourself, being able to actually get your fingers to do what your brain knows you're supposed to do. You know, that's something that I see with a lot of my students, right? They know exactly what to do, and then when it comes time to do it, they say, I can't. Oh my gosh, but I knew I was supposed to do it, right? So those are the things that don't necessarily have anything to do with your intelligence or your intelligence quotient. You know, it has to do with something that's more internal. And, you know, everybody will have, you know, different things that they're good at or bad at. But in the end, you know, trading requires X amount of intelligence, but then you still have to go out and do it. And you still have to go out and work your butt off. You know, sometimes I get a lot of students like this. Say, well, I'm hardworking and I'm smart, so I'll be good at this. And I say, that doesn't mean anything. hardworking and smart is just what you need to get your foot in the door in anything. Hardworking and smart is just a precursor to just be in the game. But it doesn't get you anything, not in life. You know, hardworking and smart is an awesome thing to have, but that just gets you to here. To get here, you still have to go out and do it, right? You still have to go out and show discipline and passion and purpose and respect the process of what you're trying to do. And then, of course, get better every single day. You know, being hardworking is just a nice thing to have. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have a family. I'll probably move back to Michigan someday, be closer to my folks, you know, and then hopefully I'll have some awesome students that, you know, I pass over the business to, and I'm just serving more as, right, you know, a trader and a teacher, and you know, the nitty-gritty of maybe the business. I'll be able to have some good students to help me out. You know, I have two. I got Mary Beth and Jordan and Chai, and I've been with them for years, but I'm always looking for more. You know, everybody that works at our company is either going to be one of my students or they can't be with us. So like, and when I've been hiring people, you know, I've never looked at anybody's resume. You know, I've made so many hires. I never look at anybody's resume. Sometimes they've gone right, sometimes a couple of them have gone wrong. But your resume is just something that is what it is, you know. In the end, what you're looking for is somebody that shares your values, they believe in your company culture and can actually fit into it rather than be disruptive to it, somebody that you can trust with what you're trying to do. And then most importantly, this person has got to be somebody that can actually learn and think on the fly. You know, you can teach skills in anything. So if I wanted a guy that's going to be like a marketing guy that does social media, well, I can teach him that. I mean, it doesn't take a brain scientist to do that. Or you know, if I have a guy that's going to say moderate my customer service, well, I don't need a customer service guru to do the customer service. He just has to be able to learn it. And in the end, after that, you want somebody to share your culture, your values, believe in what you're trying to do, your vision, and be with you long term. You know, that's the thing is, I don't like hiring for a few months or even a year. You know, if I make a hire, this is a permanent thing. You're either in or you're out. That's why all my employees have been with me for 5 years. And, you know, I've been adding employees along the way. And the expectation is when they come aboard, this is what they're going to do. You know, it's not a stepping stone. It is the stone. For me, this was just, in my family, this is what we do. I have a close family. You know, it's all or nothing for us. So, you know, I don't have any special joy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I took my parents to Disney World or Bali. Wherever I go, they're coming with me. You know, that's just, we're just like a package deal like that. So it's a fun thing to do, but like, I never look at it as like, man, I'm introducing my parents to all this cool stuff because, well, my parents put me through school, right? And they're the ones that, my dad gave me my interest in stocks. And my mom was the one that opened all the mail and wrote all my checks for me when I started Bulls on Wall Street, and kind of helped me with all the admin and staying on top of stuff. And, you know, it's a team. You know, it's a package deal. It's a team. And my sisters are all really involved with, not with the company, but just making sure that I'm, you know, the man that they hope I can become, and, you know, giving me that support and everything you need sometimes. So it's just, you know, it's what we do. You know, I've never looked at it as like, oh my gosh, I'm taking my sisters and my parents on vacation. Just wherever I'm going, they're going. Guys, if this is what you want to do in life, whether it is trading or business, this summit is going to give you just a huge value add, because it's not just people like me, but it's people in all walks of life of trading. But also, these are people that are successful. We have people that are, you know, multimillionaires coming in and talking. We also have people that are just students, that are successful traders that recently made the jump from being somebody like you into somebody that's actually speaking at a conference, and in a very short amount of time. You want to hear from those type of people. You don't want to just hear from some 50-year-old man with $100 million, right? You want to hear from guys like Jake and Chris, who are young men who just recently started trading and then went through all the ups and downs that I went through a decade ago, but they did it a year or two ago, and here they are, a success with everything fresh in their mind on what needs to be done. We have the full circle of amazing speakers from all walks of life, and you're going to learn a lot. And if you don't, you let me know, and I'll give you a high five.